Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane is an American actor and writer. He is known for his roles as Albert in the Birdcage, Max Bialystock in the musical The Producers, Ernie Smuntz in MouseHunt, Nathan Detroit in Guys and Dolls, Pseudolus in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. His voice work in The Lion King as Timon and Stuart Little as Snowbell, and his recurring roles on Modern Family, The Good Wife, and American Crime Story, The People v. O.J. Simpson as F. Lee Bailey. In 2006, Lane received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in 2008 he was inducted into the American Theatre Hall of Fame. Early life. Lane was born Joseph Lane in Jersey City, New Jersey on February 3, 1956. His father, Daniel, was a truck driver and an aspiring tenor who died in 1967 from alcoholism when Lane was 11. His mother, Nora, was a housewife and secretary who suffered from manic depression and died in 2000. He has two older brothers, Daniel Jr. and Robert. Lane's parents were Catholics of Irish descent. He was named after his uncle, a Jesuit priest. Lane attended Catholic schools in Jersey City, including Jesuit-run St. Peter's Preparatory High School, where he was voted Best Actor in 1974, and years later received the 2011 Prep Hall of Fame Professional Achievement Award. 1970s–1980s. Accepted to St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia on a drama scholarship, he was accompanied on what was supposed to be his first day there by his older brother, Dan. Discovering that the scholarship would not cover enough of his expenses, he decided to leave and work for a year to earn some money. "I remember him saying to me, 'College is for people who don't know what they want to do,'" his brother said. Because there already was a Joseph Lane registered with Actors Equity, he changed his name to Nathan, after the character Nathan Detroit from the musical Guys and Dolls. He moved to New York City, where after a long struggle his career began to take off, first with some brief success in the world of stand-up comedy with partner Patrick Stack, and later with off-Broadway productions at Second Stage Theatre, the Roundabout Theatre, and the Manhattan Theatre Club. He made his Broadway debut in a 1982 revival of Noel Coward's Present Laughter as Roland Mall, with George C. Scott, Kate Burton, Dana Ivey and Christine Latty. His second Broadway appearance was in the 1983 musical Merlin, starring Cheetah Rivera and magician Doug Henning. This was followed by Wind in the Willows as Mr. Toad, Some Americans Abroad at Lincoln Center, and the national tour of Neil Simon's Broadway Bound. Off-Broadway productions included Love Measure for Measure, directed by Joseph Papp, in Central Park, for which he received the St. Clair Bayfield Award, The Common Pursuit, The Film Society, and A Pig's Valise, She Stoops to Conquer, The Merry Wives of Windsor, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. He also appeared at the Williamstown Theatre Festival in The School for Scandal and John Garrett's Moon Over Miami. 1990s. In 1991, Lane appeared with George C. Scott again in a revival of Paul Osborne's On Borrowed Time at the Circle in the Square Theatre on Broadway. In 1992 he starred in the hit revival of Guys and Dolls, playing the character who lent him his name opposite Peter Gallagher and Faith Prince. For this performance he received his first Tony nomination as well as Drama Desk and Outer Critics Circle Awards. In 1992 he won an Obie Award for sustained excellence of performance. His professional association with his close friend the playwright Terence McNally, whom he met in 1987, includes roles in the Lisbon Traviata, Bad Habits, Lips Together, Teeth Apart, Love, Valor, Compassion, Dedication, Are the Stuff of Dreams, which opened in 2005. The Last Mile on PBS Great Performances, and the film version of Frankie and Johnny. The early 1990s began a stretch of successful Broadway shows for Lane. In 1993, he portrayed Sid Caesar like Max Prince in Neil Simon's Laughter on the 23rd Floor, inspired by Simon's early career writing sketches for Your Show of Shows. In 1996, he starred in the hit revival of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, for which he won the Tony Drama Desk and Outer Critics Circle Awards. In 1998, he appeared off-Broadway in John Robin Bay revised 1984 comedy Mislinski, Zielinski or Schmucks. His association with Sondheim began with The Workshop of Assassins, in 1989. In 1999 he appeared with Victor Garber in The Workshop of Wise Guys. His collaboration with Sondheim continued when Lane revised the original book for, and starred in the Broadway debut of the composer's The Frogs at Lincoln Center in 2004. The Sondheim song Little Dream in the film The Birdcage, a role for which Lane received his first Golden Globe nomination, was supposedly written especially for him. In 1994, Lane voiced Timon the Meerkat in Disney's blockbuster animated film The Lion King and reprised the role in its sequels. In 1995, he played the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz in concert at Lincoln Center to benefit the Children's Defense Fund. The performance was originally broadcast on Turner Network Television. In 1999, he appeared in the Encores! Concert revival of Do Re Mi at City Center. 2000s. Lane starred in the roundabout revival of The Man Who Came to Dinner as Sheridan Whiteside, with Jean Smart and Harriet Harris in 2000. In 2001, he starred as Max Bialystock in the blockbuster musical version of Mel Brooks' The Producers, a role that earned him his second Tony as well as Drama Desk and Outer Critics Circle Awards. The following year he would go on to reprise his role as Snowbell in Stuart Little 2, and appear as Vincent Crummles in a film adaptation of Nicholas Nickleby. In 2004, he replaced Richard Dreyfuss in The Producers in the West End. Dreyfuss was let go just a week before the show's first preview at London's Theatre Royal Drury Lane. Lane went on to win the Olivier Award as Best Actor in a Musical. His performance in the film version, opposite Broadway co-star Matthew Broderick as Leo Bloom, earned him his second Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. In 2003 he starred off-Broadway in Trumbo, Red, White and Blacklisted. In 2005, Lane rejoined Broderick for a successful limited run of The Odd Couple. In 2006, he took on a primarily dramatic role in a revival of Simon Gray's Butley, having played the role to great success at the Huntington Theatre in Boston in 2003. He and Broderick received adjacent stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in a joint ceremony on January 9, 2006, and were immortalized in wax as Max and Leo at Madame Tussauds Museum in New York City on January 16, 2009. In 2008, he played the President of the United States in the David Mamet political satire, November, directed by Joe Mantello. This was followed by the critically acclaimed 2009 revival of Waiting for Godot, in which he played Estragon opposite Bill Irwin's Vladimir. He was a 2008 American Theatre Hall of Fame inductee. 2010s. In 2010, Lane starred in the musical version of The Addams Family as Gomez, committed to starring in a revival of the Eugene O'Neill play The Iceman Cometh. At Chicago's Goodman Theatre in 2012, Lane assumed the role of Hickey, with Brian Dennehy playing the role of Larry Slade in a production directed by the Goodman's artistic director Robert Falls. receiving rave reviews. It won 6 Jeff Awards, including Best Ensemble Director and Production, and is the most successful show to date in the theater's history. In the spring of 2013, Lane returned to Broadway in The Nance, a Lincoln Center production of new play by Douglas Carter Beane that was directed by Jack O'Brien. For this performance he received Tony and Drama Desk Award nominations, and won the Outer Critics Circle Award and the 2013 Drama League Award for Distinguished Performance. The play aired on PBS Live from Lincoln Center in 2014. In autumn 2014 he appeared in an all-star ensemble of Terrence McNally's revised and updated It's Only a Play with F. Murray Abraham, Matthew Broderick, Stockard Channing, Rupert Grint, Megan Mullally and Micah Stock. The show became one of the biggest hits of the season. In February 2015 he reprised the role of Hickey in the Robert Falls production of The Iceman Cometh to great acclaim at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. He later returned to the Broadway run of It's Only a Play. In March 2016 he opened the play White Rabbit, Red Rabbit off-Broadway. In fall of 2016 he returned to Broadway to rave reviews in an all-star revival of Hector MacArthur's The Front Page, directed by Jack O'Brien and produced by Scott Rudin. He played the ruthless editor Walter Burns opposite John Slattery as Hildy Johnson, and John Goodman as Sheriff Hartman, for which he received Tony Drama Desk and Outer Critics Circle Award nominations. Following that he played Roy Cohn, with Andrew Garfield as Prior Walter in the revival of Angels in America, directed by Marianne Elliott at the Little Hilton Theatre of the National Theatre of Great Britain. Lane is set to reprise his portrayal on Broadway at the Neil Simon Theatre, opposite majority of the National Theatre cast. Personal life. When Lane told his mother at age 21 that he was gay, she replied, "I would rather you were dead." To which he replied, "I knew you'd understand." In 1996, when asked if he was gay by US Magazine, he replied, "I'm 40, single and work a lot in the musical theater." You did the math. Lane, who came out publicly after the death of Matthew Shepard, has been a longtime board member of and fundraiser for Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, and has been honored by the human rights campaign Gay, the Trevor Project and the Matthew Shepard Foundation for his work in the LGBT community. On November 17, 2015, Lane married his longtime partner, theater producer and writer Devlin Elliott. Television. He has received 3 Daytime Emmy nominations for George and Martha, Timon and Pumbaa, and Teacher's Pet, and won 2 Daytime Emmy Awards in 1995 for Disney's Timon and Pumbaa and in 2000 for Disney's Teacher's Pet. He has also received 6 Primetime Emmy Award nominations for guest appearances on Frasier, Mad About You, Modern Family and The Good Wife. In 1999 he won the People's Choice Award for Favorite Male Performer in a new TV series for Encore. Television work. His television credits include One of the Boys with Mickey Rooney and Dana Carvey, The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd, the title role in The Man Who Came to Dinner, broadcast live on PBS The Nance for Live from Lincoln Center. The voices of the title characters in 2 Disney animated series, Teacher's Pet and Timon, as well as George and Martha on HBO. In addition to recurring roles on Modern Family and The Good Wife, he has made guest appearances on Miami Vice, Mad About You, Sex and the City, Frasier, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Absolutely Fabulous, 30 Rock and Difficult People. He played F. Lee Bailey in the first season episodes of American Crime Story titled The People vs. O.J. Simpson, premiering on the FX channel in February 2016. It received 22 Emmy nominations and went on to win the Emmy for Best Limited Series Miniseries, a television movie. He has hosted Saturday Night Live, the Tony Awards, and appeared on Great Performances. He has starred in 2 television films, The Boys Next Door and Laughter on the 23rd Floor. With the Boston Pops, he performed a tribute concert of Danny Kaye material, as well as appeared in the Harry Connick Christmas special, Merry Christmas George Bailey, The Wizard of Oz in Concert, and A Muppet Christmas, Letters to Santa. His attempts at a regular series of his own Encore! And Charlie Lawrence were ratings disappointments. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Would you like to know more?